Over the last few quarters, I've asked students who are taking online art history what they thought was most helpful to do well in class. I asked them a little more than halfway through the class, so they'd had some experience already, and here are their suggestions. I've kind of grouped them by type. So one of the things that always gets mentioned is using planners and managing people's time well. So making priorities, getting things organized. Get a planner and write everything down. That overview page is meant to be a list of everything that's due. It includes due dates. It includes exactly what's due when. And you can simply write down in your planner, Monday, Tuesday, right? Or Unit 1, A, B, Unit 1, number 1, number 2, number 3. Write it down, then you can check it off. Another student says reuse a planner, but make sure you check it every day. She said sometimes she would forget to check it. It doesn't work if you don't check it. And another student said, he realized that if you don't want to do it now, what's going to make you think you want to do it later? And so he had to just make himself start because it wasn't ever like, oh man, I really want to go do some homework. Those are some suggestions. Suggestions specifically related to things in Canvas. So reading over the discussion forum before taking the quiz or the quest. Talking with other students about things that aren't clear. You could do that live, you can do that via email, you can do that via a chat or a conference in Canvas. You can also do that in the discussion forum itself. Each week you have discussion forums for the unit. There's also an overview, like a section or general questions discussion forum where you can ask things as well. I try to get in there and answer questions, but your students can answer them as well. Read your classmates' posts. As the instructor, I make the assumption that you're using the discussion forum how I want you to, and that is reading everyone's comments and then posting, and then replying and getting kind of involved. If you are not using it that way, your classmates from a previous quarter say, use it that way. That's how it's intended to be used, and that's how you're going to learn for it. If you see a student, a classmate, respond, post something, and maybe it's not completely clear and later it gets clarified, that can help you learn that thing too. Just by watching, it's as if the discussion were happening in class and you saw Susie misunderstand this thing and then Susie started to learn it correctly. That's what we're trying to get you to do. Students also recommend that you go back and review the quizzes or quests, the discussion forums, the discussion boards, and the overview pages. Notice the theme here? Look at those overview pages every week. Other suggestions for students, make sure you write it down. Physically take notes. You answer all of the worksheet questions, or she actually says most, not just the ones you'll use in the discussion. Use the mind map. So mind maps are going to be something we talk about in Unit 1. Use the mind map to help you organize information. Writing stuff down really, particularly writing by hand, is shown to help you learn better than just talking about it or just thinking about it. and some people say even better than just typing it. Flashcards. A number of students really like flashcards, so they'll write a term down on a flashcard and they'll just kind of flip through those flashcards. Nice and portable. You can do them while you're waiting in line or waiting for a friend or something like that. Other suggestions. Talk with Ms. Dorn. So talk with me over the phone or live or in conferences. One of the things I hear all the time from students is that just talking with me helped them increase their confidence. And I observe this too. When students come in to talk to me about about what they're struggling with, oftentimes I can get the student to say what they know, and then all I have to do is say, look, you know it. But sometimes when you're not sure if you understand it correctly, it's helpful to talk it through with somebody, talk it through live. And I can do that with you, and I can help you point out, this part was right, this part maybe wasn't right, or you said this, and you didn't even realize that you understood it. Students recommend finding ways to avoid distractions. Some students say put the phone on, don't disturb, no music. Other students say classical music helps them focus. One student said if he sat outside, that helped him pay attention. I don't know if he wasn't distracted by stuff, phones and things, computers. Some students liked Khan Academy as a resource. Nice thing about Khan Academy, lots of videos and lots of interactive things where you can take little quizzes and stuff. And of course, your teacher's not counting them for points, so that's nice. Talk to a friend about it. I had this student last year who said he would just tell his friends about what he was learning, and by explaining it to the friends, even if they weren't in art, the friends sort of, by talking about it, help them understand it. This works with friends. This works with relatives. If you've got children, tell them what you're learning in class. They may not understand it, but you explaining it helps you understand it better. You don't have friends or a family who can listen to you? Talk to your pet, right? Talk to anyone. Talk to a classmate in this class, because talking about it, writing about it helps you learn it. And then, of course, I want to remind you about ways to get help. So lots of ways to get help. I do not want you sitting at home struggling and getting confused and getting frustrated and getting mad. I want you to ask for help when you need it. So Canvas emails, my preferred way to do most communication that's just quick and reply, but live discussions are really helpful, certainly for some types of things. So if you're having trouble navigating Canvas, or if you're having trouble understanding what a thing looks like, might be better for us to meet in person, or we can meet, if you're not in Yakima, if you're not on campus, we can meet in a conference. I am pretty much available all day. I have one class this quarter that meets live, and that's Tuesday, Thursday afternoons. But all morning, the other afternoons, I can meet you. The only thing is I am not going to sit in conferences all day unless I know someone's going to meet me there. So let me know that you want to meet. It's super easy to set up, and we'll do it. You can also, if you're around, come here. Come to me. I'm in Palmer Martin 170, and a conversation in person is great. We can pull stuff up on the computer. We can look at images. It's a really good way to discuss things. You don't like any of those? Phone is fine too. I'm sitting here at my office. I'm happy to answer the phone and talk you through something. You can also talk to your classmates. There are other resources on campus that can be helpful too. Writing Center, library, reference librarians in the library are really helpful for finding resources. And there's some tools in Canvas that can be helpful as well. So make sure you're talking to me. I put my daily office hours here. Those are a time when we know I'm around. I may sometimes just set up a conference to be open during a time, and I'll try to put an announcement about it before I do. All right. Good luck. You can all do this. I believe in you.